Hello, welcome back if you welcome if you new. My name's Emma from Living in Perfect Harmony. So I just wanted to come on today and explain a little bit about who I am and what I do. So I'm a light worker and an empath, and like most of you, if you're watching this video, you will be too, and you will have probably have been through quite a bit of trauma throughout your life, and you might even still be experiencing it. So a lot of my trauma has been through narcissistic abuse. So my mum was a narcissist and my stepdad was a narcissist, and I had a lot of physical abuse with that as well. The abandonment, being in the same room as them but feeling abandoned, feeling unloved, trying to constantly please them all the time, to try and get that love that you crave. So when I got to about 21, I had my first breakdown, and I'd been through quite a lot of depression all through my teens anyway, but by 21 I just hit rock bottom and that was it. I met my last husband, and I was with him for 13 years, and he was also a narcissist. So, that trauma from childhood, although I dealt with it by the time I was 21, I saw a psychologist. So to some level I dealt with it. I was able to start functioning a bit more, and, I wasn't waking up crying every day or being so angry all the time. It didn't completely get rid of it, but it calmed it down a lot. But then these traumas kept building and building and building. And, I'd ask family members for help and I was getting let down by them. And it just kind of kept building up, really. So eventually after 13 years, I built up the courage to leave. And that was pretty much when things got worse. He lied about me to child welfare, family courts, and it ended up that he ended up getting custody of our 4 kids. So that was really hard. I didn't see them for 2 years because he wouldn't let me have contact. And if you've been through this, fighting through family courts is a nightmare. It's such a long process trying to get things done. They're all grown up now, so I do have some relationship with them. And he can't stop it now, they're older, but the damage is done. But it's something I've had to learn to deal with. So when that went on, I went through what was called the dark night of the soul. So I've always been quite connected anyway to universal oneness and, my higher self and angels and things like that. But when I went through the dark night of the soul, I felt completely disconnected. It was like being in a black hole. It was like I'd fallen down a well and I could see the light above me, but I couldn't get up to it. And, I lost interest in everything. I used to love singing, dancing, going out, walks in nature, things like that. Nothing interested me anymore. I found it hard to get out of bed. So that is what brought about my full awakening, because although I was connected, I didn't know anything about spirituality. I didn't know how to meditate. I didn't know how to connect, to get the downloads, to be able to help other people. I didn't even know that was possible. I've always given advice to people. I've never been able to follow it myself, but I'm always good at giving it. So I was getting the downloads and healing for most of my life, but you don't really recognize that until you have your full awakening, and then you start learning about this. So when I went through the dark night of the soul, something guided me, or they guided me, to start looking up narcissists. And I found a whole wealth of information. I found groups on Facebook, and I was like, oh my God, that's my story. It's crazy. It's like they read from a script, and if you speak to anyone that's been through narcissistic abuse, pretty much every story they tell you will resonate with you because you've been through it yourself, because it's all the same thing. So what we need to do is, they turn our world upside down. It's the wrong way round. They convince us we're crazy, they convince us we're worthless, when actually you need to flip it, so you need to work on programming these. When you're constantly being told you're nothing all the time, it goes into your subconscious like a program, and they're the things that we need to undo, as well as healing the traumas. So I offer that in my one-to-one sessions. I have like kind of counselling sessions where we talk about what's gone on, we heal it, look at it from another perspective, and work on the programs as well. So undoing all the rubbish that's been put in your head, so you stop thinking in that way, because it's not true. And these are called vibrations or energies, and we have the lower ones, which is where the narcissistic wants to keep us, because when we're in the lower ones, we feel unsafe, we feel financially insecure, we feel like we can't leave even when we do leave. I was with mine for 13 years and I was constantly looking for ways out, but then being too scared to actually do it. So the aim is that we want to be up in the higher vibrations, because that's when we're then manifesting the life that we do want rather than the life that we don't want. And we're living in joy, love, happiness, things like that. So that's what I've got, packages that help with that. There's like 3-month and 6-month ones, and also the one-to-one sessions as well, which you can book as a one-off if you want to. I also offer energy clearance, so that I connect with your higher self to download the positive energies whilst helping you release the lower energies. So if you wanted to work on your own healing, I'd say get an energy clearing maybe every 2 weeks or every month, and that just helps clear out all that negative energy that you're trying to release from healing the traumas you've been through. So it's all about changing your perspective and getting out of victim mode as well. That's really important. As soon as you can look at it from the outside and think, what was it teaching us? How can you implement this to then go on and help others? That changes your mindset then, so you're no longer feeling the victim and upset all the time and going around this constant cycle of bad to worse, and you get to come out on the other side and then help others like I do. So I didn't fully awaken until about 3 years ago. Although I was connected, I didn't know all about spirituality. I didn't know how to receive downloads and implement them to be able to help others. So I had to, on my awakening, I've learned all that. I've also, because I wasn't in a position to be able to get someone to help me, I had to do the healing myself. But it's actually been really positive, because it means that I've learned all these tools and techniques that work for me to implement them in a package to help you. So I just got lost there. So where are we? So yeah, when you do this healing, the further you go along and the more you heal, you might find that you start getting repressed memories coming up. Now, I was so focused on certain aspects of my childhood, which I thought was really bad, I'd actually then forgotten about the other stuff that was even worse. And when these repressed memories came up for me, it was a total shock. It turned my life upside down again. But I was on the other side of the healing journey by that point, so I was able to deal with it in a more constructive way and not let it completely throw me to rock bottom. I was able to cope with it. So that's the point you need to be at. And Universal Oneness is good like that with your awakening. They'll let you heal bit by bit by bit. So until you're strong enough to deal with any repressed emotions, they're not going to bring that in. So, you can then cope with what's happening a lot better. So my repressed emotions were, I thought my mum and my stepdad were the narcissists, and, you know, the ones that made my life hell. And actually, I found out that most of my family members are involved in some way or another in paedophilia. And yeah, I actually experienced incest. I was part of a paedophile ring that goes quite high up the ranks. I'm not going to talk about that on this video because, you know, as most of you probably know, there's a lot of people getting put in jail right now for that. So I don't want to touch too much on that. But yeah, I will say that's something I've experienced. But it's helped me realise a lot of things within myself that I've now been able to understand and change for the better. You know, realise that none of it was my fault for the way I was treated. I never conformed to what they wanted to do and what they had become as adults. So I was systematically pushed out of the family, and it was never spoken about because, you know, they knew that I wasn't one of them, basically. So, you know, that's helped greatly. I don't want to be one of them. I'm sure most of you wouldn't want to be one of them. So, so that leads me to where I am now. So my vibration has risen. I've left my country in the UK. I've left all my family behind. I've got my kids completely out of that situation, and now we live in Bali. And it is a struggle, but it's been the best thing for us so far. We're completely away from it all. We get a fresh new start. We can start building up our, you know, financial situation and everything bit by bit. Just take each day as it comes. You just need to have full trust in spirit. They completely have your back all the time. And the manifesting as well, that helps. You know, you manifest the things you need, you know. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Was there anything else I want to touch on? Yeah, so I'm also a twin flame, but I will be doing another video about my twin flame journey later on today with my husband. So I won't go too much into it in this video because we'll do that together. That's just a complete other journey in and of itself. So yeah, if you need any sessions, if you go on www.livingimperfectharmony.net, you can book through there, or you can contact me on my Facebook page, either the business page, which is Living in Perfect Harmony, or contact me direct. I'll put the links up to both. Yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you want a free call to discuss how I can help you, we can do that first before you want to book anything. That's completely fine. And you also get healing in that free call as well. So even if you decided that this wasn't right for you right now, that's fine. You still get to go away with some healing, and we'll clear out your energies as it is. So I hope you liked the video. Like and share, and please subscribe to the book, I'm losing all my words today. It's Lion Gates energy. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube. By the time we get up to 500 members, I will start giving away freebies at that point to people. It will probably be either a full read, because I offer reads as well, or a healing session, a 1 hour healing session, but we'll see how we go. So I think that's everything for now. Please like, subscribe and share. That really helps the channel. If you would make any donations to me, that would really help, and I'll pop a link below for that too. That just helps me, you know, be able to do this full time and not have to go off and get another job. So yeah, thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next video.